General for the Small Business Administration said this: one of the largest challenges facing the Small Business Administration and the entire federal government today is that large businesses are receiving federal small business procurement awards. And they found in Report 514 that the Small Business Administration itself, the SBA, was giving small business contracts to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate out of Holland called Berman NV. So these are the findings of the General Accounting Office, the Inspector Generals for the Department of the Interior, again, the GAO and the SBA's own Inspector General, the SBA Office of Advocacy. Every day, every minute, contracts that by law should be going to legitimate small businesses are being diverted to Fortune 500 firms. The Obama administration knows it's happening. Think about, we're in the worst economic downturn in 80 years. Small businesses generate over 90% of all net new jobs. They employ over 56% of the private sector workforce. They generate over half the gross domestic product. And here's a shocker. They're responsible for over 90% of all U.S. exports. And right now, while we're talking, the government is giving federal small business contracts to companies overseas and Fortune 500 firms. And if you complain about it, you're going to get blacklisted if this secret blacklist passes.
We're talking to Lloyd Chapman, the president of the American Small Business League, ASBL.com. Let's walk through. I'm going to make some points, then get your take on it. Let's walk through that. Of course, the vast majority of our exports are small businesses. There aren't any, by and large, big industries left here to export, so it is that micro economy and those specialty niche items that are still having this country run. Then you start shutting them down. This is really about price fixing. That's what the Food Safety Act is about. Openly, in the last month, $12 million spent by big mega agribusiness to shut down small farms and ranches, to allow the federal government to come in and just have unlimited power to put bureaucracy on them, though most of the food safety problems we've seen, and that's public numbers, come from the big mega agribusiness, the Tyson Chickens and others. So they're lobbying to shut that down. It's about price fixing. Once you've only got 2 or 3 chicken packers or beef packers, once you've got most local farmers working for big mega agribusiness, then they can get together and price fix and control the market and jack up prices. So it's the same thing here. You shut small businesses out. They don't even know they've been shut out when they're putting their bids in. That allows the insiders to jack up all of their prices. I mean, this is so diabolical. Your take on what I just talked about?
Well, I'll tell you something interesting. I was talking to a 7-year-old kid about 2 months ago, and I said, if you were trying to stimulate the economy and create jobs, and you knew that small businesses created 95% of all the net new jobs, how much of the stimulus funds would you give small businesses? He said, well, 95%. The Obama administration has given maybe 3% of the stimulus funds to small businesses. 3%. Now, the companies that create 97% of the net new jobs, half the gross domestic product, 90% of the exports, are getting 3% of the stimulus funds. That's why the unemployment rate's not coming down.
Well, that makes me think of a Bible verse that out of the mouths of babes, here's the 7-year-old saying, put the money in small business, but the big mega businesses, they've got the lobbyist.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'll tell you something fascinating. When the House Small Business Committee has hearings on federal small business policy, you know who's always there to testify? Boeing Aircraft. So when Nidhi Velasquez has a hearing on federal small business policy and to look at why government small business contracts are going to Fortune 500 firms, no legitimate small business group has ever been invited to testify. I've never been in the room there.
And, of course, Boeing has moved to China.
Yeah. Well, by the way, today while we're talking, Boeing's getting federal small business contracts. They get hundreds of millions in federal small business contracts.
So that's what your organization does, is tries to tie the small businesses together. If small businesses started funding their own lobbying groups and got aggressive, we could kick these multinationals out. But now we learn trillions of dollars have been stolen and given to elite corporations with bailout money. I mean, there's no end to it.
I'll tell you something. When I talk to people about politics and they're complaining, I always tell them one thing: it's much worse than you think it is. So as you and I are talking and people are listening, I want to assure people that what's going on in this country right now, what's going on in Washington, what's going on in the Obama administration is much, much worse than you think it is. It's more corrupt than you think it is. And I would have to call it sort of anti-middle class. But think about a federal policy, by the way, that allows Fortune 500 firms to get small business contracts. That's happening right now, and the SBA, is the one that came up with it. But, by the way, here's what we should talk about real quick. Let's talk about what people can do.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it. In fact, that was my next question. How do we counter this legislation? But more than that, how do we roll back the corruption that's already rampant?
All right, here's my advice. I have all the stories on this on my website, asbl.com, under media. We've got probably almost 10 years worth of stories on this issue. People go look at it. We've got videos. We've got all the stories that have been on television, and people can take a look at it. But call your congressman. When this, sometime today, get on the phone, call your congressman, and tell them two things. I do not want federal small business contracts going to Fortune 500 firms and companies overseas. I object to that. I want, existing federal infrastructure spending going to American companies and small businesses. And number two, I'm opposed to a secret blacklist in the defense reauthorization bill. Call your senator, call your congressman, call the White House. People out there, people are frustrated. People, don't like the government and they're unhappy. I'll tell you something. You can do something about it. You're an American. This is a democracy. This country belongs to us. Those people in Washington work for us. Get on the phone and cause some trouble. Call these people and call their offices and lock up their phone lines and tell them we're not taking this anymore.
All right, Lloyd Chapman, do 5 more minutes with us on the other side. Talk more about solutions. Folks, do you understand? The multinationals run the government. You heard it, 97% of the stimulus money went to them, not to small businesses. We've got to stop this or we're dead. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Calling all manufacturers from across the United States. Are you eager to have people buy your products right here at home instead of having them buy competing products made on the other side of the world? Do you want to build your business while helping boost our nation's economy at the same time? Then localmakers.com is the website for you. Our site provides an easy way for manufacturers to connect with customers within their local community as well as across the United States. From the small manufacturer who works out of their home to the large manufacturers across the U.S. Localmakers.com connects customers to the closest manufacturer by simply entering their zip code. So if you make your own goods and want to expand your market, go to localmakers.com and put your products on one of our shelves. If you're not a local manufacturer but know someone who is, take advantage of the localmakers.com referral program and earn income by getting others to join. Simply go to localmakers.com and register. There's no cost to join. That's localmakers.com. Visit localmakers.com today.
Fight back this cold and flu season with the world's best garlic extract, Ali C. Why Ali C? Because it helps your body fight viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Ali C has been scientifically proven in double-blind studies using low doses to greatly reduce the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Ali C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin, the active ingredient in crushed garlic. Studies show Ali C is effective against MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections. One tablet of Ali C has the equivalent of 40 cloves of garlic. Ali C supports your body's resistance to all types of conditions and can help lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So boost your body's resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali C. For more information and to order Ali C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 1-877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com for your Ali C today.
This This issue basically illustrates everything we talk about here. 97% of the stimulus money to these mega corporations who are offshore, and now they don't even want small business to be able to put a bid in, basically, is what this amounts to. You wonder why we don't have an economy. It's because it's a rigged game. And the big mega banks, they want socialism, to take your money and then give it to them. So it's socialism on the bottom with fascism on the top. And that's what the stupid leftists and stupid right-wingers will not get. But before 110 years ago, if you read a political science book, this is all it talked about. They have given us false information. You've got to have local control. You've got to have true free market. And we need to shrink the size of government. So much of the waste is these big mega corporations. Small businesses will bring competition to that. Now, in closing, it's exciting to know that Lloyd Chapman is from Austin, Texas. Of course, we're out of Austin, Texas, but his organization is not based here. He's got more than 100,000 members. He needs to have 10 million members. How many small businesses are there in the United States, Lloyd?
There's 28 million small businesses in this country, and 98% of all U.S. firms have less than 100 employees.
Well, I tell you, I've got about 30 contractors or employees, and how much does it cost to join your organization? I think I'm going to have my company join up.
You know, people can join for free.
Oh, it's free, but
Yeah.
can I donate? Because we need to fight these people.
We ask people to donate if you want to. We win a federal. I'll say in the last 6 weeks, I've won 3 federal lawsuits against the Obama administration. So we don't just sit around and talk. We do something.
Oh, yeah, what they're doing is totally criminal. So if we lay down, we're going to lose. What's the saying that winners never quit and losers? What's that saying? I can't ever seem to get it right. That
You know what? I forgot. Here's something.
That quitters never win and winners never quit.
There you go. Thomas Jefferson said, all tyranny needs to gain a foothold for people of good conscience to remain silent.
Yes.
So the American Small Business League, we're suing the government constantly. I've been suing the government for 20 years. I've never lost. I've exposed trillions in fraud and abuse. I'd love to have people contribute and help us, fund our legal campaign. We're fighting for small businesses every day, and we're getting results. I'm on television, radio, we're in newspapers, and we're getting the word out there. But people need to do something. People just sit around, they're mad. Get on the phone. Call your congressman, call your senator. This secret blacklist right now is in the Senate. So get on the phone and call your senator, and when you get through calling your senator, call the local newspaper and call the local television station and say, hey, did you know about this secret blacklist? And let's get more coverage of this. But people should become more involved in this. And to tell you the truth, Alex, it's fun. You get on the phone and call your senator, tell him you're not happy with this stuff.
Well, I just love that saying that winners never quit, and of course, quitters never win, or to say it properly, quitters never win and winners never quit. Yep. We need to learn how the system works, get involved, and take action. And I just want to commend what you're doing. How good a chance does this legislation have of passing, this S3454?
Unfortunately, I would say it's probably got about a 90% chance of passing because the Pentagon controls our government. When you go to Washington, D.C., like I do all the time, and you're sitting in a congressman's office, there's a bunch of magazines sitting on the table, that are pretty much focused at Congress, and everyone has full-page ads from the nation's top 5 defense contractors. If you look at the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, right outside is the Boeing Theater. Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop own that town. And they pretty much get what they want. So the American people have to make a lot of noise to kill this one.
You know what, Lloyd Chapman? We got a 60-second break. If you've got to go, you got to go. But I want you to come back for 5 minutes if you can, or we'll have you back. And explain how the Pentagon runs this country. That's what Eisenhower in '61 warned us about. They take our tax money. They've got all this propaganda about worshiping the military when all it is a bunch of corrupt corporations.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Diamond Gusset is proud to announce the anthem of the Patriot Movement. They're offering a free CD, T-shirt, and bumper sticker with a qualifying purchase. Diamond Gusset offers great products at great prices while keeping Americans working.
I'm looking for a factory where a man can feed his family, not worried about them moving it south, closing the doors and shutting her down tomorrow.